Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Look like I might have an audio problem, so I will try to confirm before I say too much. I guess I got some Lynchian fluff here at the front, loud and clear. Thank you very much, Bill B. Hello to everyone. Hello, Saban. I guess we're, at least where I am in Arizona, we're under some sort of flood watch. And it is really dark to the north, so north and east. So we are in the grip of the most exciting time of the year in Arizona for weather, the monsoon season. So welcome. My name is Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach. By trade and training, I am a software engineer, and I guess I can say now I am a trained Zamboni driver. Yet to be an experienced Zamboni driver, but a trained Zamboni driver. And what we do here on Wednesdays is a 25-minute sit with light-ish guidance, usually from the Unified Mindfulness suite of techniques. And those techniques are crafted by Shinzen Young. They are a subset of what he refers to as Ultra, which is the University Library of Techniques for Training Attention. Yes, eminently qualified to lead this group as a result of my Zamboni training. Jeff is still adamant that I need to lead guided meditation while driving. So that is that's one of those things, like a reality TV thing where you'd have to like mic me up and like get a GoPro on the Zamboni and everything. I told him that I can't drive the Zamboni calm yet, which is probably a problem. I'm just nervous that I'm going to forget something. So Jeff is still pushing me to the yes, Zen in the art of Zamboni. Somebody that I saw recently has their Zamboni driver and they have business cards, and it says I make smooth ice. That was what their job was. But enough random thoughts here. We get together on Wednesdays, and I guide a 25-minute meditation. That last 5-ish minutes, and maybe it'll be 6 or 7 minutes today, is where we let go of whatever technique we've been practicing, and we do nothing. So, question from Bob. So you're a smooth operator. Yes, I got a keychain from the fine folks at Elk River, at the Elk River Ice Complex, and it says smooth operator. And so I will show that next time. I think the Zamboni on it is an Olympia, or I think the machine on it is not a Zamboni. It's actually an Olympia. So Olympia is the second, the Zamboni being number 1 and Olympia being number 2. Does the mustache and the Zamboni relate? Not necessarily. I decided to do the mustache as a result of watching the movie Perfect Days too many times. And the main character, Hideyama, has a mustache, a fantastic mustache, I must add. And then I had also been watching episodes of Ted Lasso when I was coming back and so that was part of my dual inspiration for the mustache. So yeah, it's yes. Thank you, Paul, and great to have you here, Paul. And I did not say hello to everyone like Bob Daniel and Ruth and Brian and Sheila and all of the people that I didn't say. Cheryl, hello. We've got 15 fine people here on the live stream. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the thumbs up. So, wow, can that be? Okay, I guess we've only been going for 5 minutes. That's actually like pretty good. So I still am having to use my old phone to time us because my talk timer app is not available on my new phone. So this phone will be. I'm gonna don't tell it, but I have to return this phone back to the phone people. So it's been a very good phone. But I have an inviter and a bell. I'm running my evap, which I probably shouldn't be running because I think the storm is coming, and so a smart person would turn that off. But the switch is too far away, so I'm not going to do that. If you can't hear the wabi sabi clock, that's why. Um, yeah, what else? I'll have random thoughts at the end here. There's two things that two points of business I have, and then a reminder about actually a few reminders from the wider network of things. So yeah, I think let's just. So what we're gonna do? Oh, I know what. So I haven't told you the technique. The technique is called focus in. So we will occasionally do where we focus out. Focus in is hello, Ronnie. Welcome. Focus in is going to be our technique, and that means that so we can think about we have C, which is vision, and we have an inner and outer dimension for the category of C, and that's C out being standard vision for sighted folks. And then mental image would be C in. So we have C out, C in. We have hear out sounds, hear in, mental talk. And then we have for body sensations, we have feel out, and that would be physical body sensations, itches, the sensation of yourself breathing, soreness, stiffness, muscle contractions, all of that sort of stuff. And then feel in would be the inner dimension for feel, and that would be emotional body sensations. So the standard Star Wars line, I have a bad feeling about this. What they're saying in that is that they've got like potentially a bad gut feeling, like something's heavy and doesn't feel quite right. There's some fantastic research where they basically asked people if had different emotions, and then they asked where they feel that in their body. It was a Scandinavian. I want to say it was Swedish, but maybe it was Norwegian. But they had like body outlines of people, and then they colored what all the different emotions were, and lined up pretty well. I should find that one of these times. They always showed this visual. It's really fascinating. So, yeah, Simone, I'll track that down. When I first started meditating, I worked with a coach in Shinzen's orbit named George Haas, who he runs the Meta Group and also morning meditation. He's a fantastic teacher. Anyway, he's the first person that told me about that. And I went and checked that out, and I thought it's really, really interesting. And you see it comes up often, and so the visuals are pretty good. Bodily maps of emotions. I love this. Okay, thank you, Ruth. Finish. Okay, so I said Scandinavian, but I credited Norwegian and or Swedish. I would say that I have to state my bias, and that is I have Norwegian blood, so maybe that's why I was trying to get that. So yeah, I will see if you can track that down. That study should be available. The PDF, you should be able to download that, and it'll have the images. The images are what people really want. Last time I looked for it, there was I'm way over my, but last time I looked for it, there was a write up on it, and then they had the visuals available, like sort of a science sort of blog ish thing. So I had recommended it to somebody else. All right, so I've got 25 minutes on the clock. Our technique is focus in. So we're going to do the see in, hear in, feel in dimensions, and then and then If for some reason you are feeling like that is too much, because sometimes focus in is too much, depending on if you are having a lot of rumination or something, you can choose to focus out. So that's another notion. So we can choose to focus in or we can focus out. So I'm going to focus in, or that will be our technique. But feel free to tune that if you don't feel resourced for that today. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ruth, for making it so I'm not trying to think about what the title of that study is while I'm guiding. All right. So as I readjust myself here, I encourage you to adjust yourself as well and establish a posture that will help you to be relaxed and alert. That is the basic meditative state. The shorthand I like to think about is I'm always looking for a posture that allows me to be upright without being uptight. I will focus on the seated posture, either in a chair, on a cushion, or a bench. But you could be standing, lying down, or even walking. And I trust that you can tailor the guidance that I will offer to any of the postures that you use. Once we've established our posture, we want to sort of check in and just sort of mark off things. So the shoulders are above or over the hips, aligned with the hips. The feet are arranged in a way that helps us to feel stable. Hands are arranged in the lap or palms down on the thighs. Chin is tucked ever so slightly. The eyes can be open or closed, your preference. And then just taking a sample just to see what it's like to be a mind-body complex right now. So maybe it's a calm and sunny day interior wise. Maybe it's stormy. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Just getting a chance to notice that. Checking to see if we have any tension, holding any tension. So at least on North American hours, this is end of a work day. So you may have tightness in the jaw, maybe soreness in the shoulders. Maybe the shoulders have been trying to creep up ever so close to your ears. Just seeing what's there. Again, not to banish the feelings, but the sensations, just to acknowledge them. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow the breath down, sinking low into the belly. And then as we exhale, seeing if we might ever so slightly extend the exhale. And today is one of those days where right now is probably the first or second breath I have completely felt all day. So kudos to me. I've made it all the way to 5:15 Pacific time without consciously feeling breath. And that's okay. There's plenty of time for us to connect with the breath. Okay. Give us a little bit of extra time for some deliberate breaths there. And so our focus range for our technique is see in, hear in, and feel in. Or we can use the shorthand, just focus in. So, and our instructions are that whenever we have anything arise in mental image, mental talk, or emotional body sensations, we notice that. And then for options, you can note just in, and that's all three. Or if you want to flex a bit of your sensory clarity, you can use hear in, see in, or feel in for whichever category you're experiencing, or whatever you're focusing, I should say, concentration. Using the word focus a lot. So wherever we're finding that our attention is concentrated. So you can go granular with feel in, hear in, see in, or you can simplify and note in. And then when you notice an itch or you realize that you've been focusing on your breath for the last 3 minutes, both examples of where we're outside of our focus range, noticing that and bringing our concentration back into our focus range. And lastly, a reminder that this is a noting technique, so we're noting where we're concentrating, soaking our attention in to that, and then optionally labeling. So I'll let you explore a bit extended here on your own. Focus in. Just a brief reminder that you can play with the labeling part of our noting practice. So you could drop the softly spoken inner label, or you could increase the frequency, so that might internally sound like in, in. So repeating it if you were using the label in. And then the last option that is available to us if we're practicing at home and we're not practicing with a group is you could speak the label out loud. If you're in a place where that's okay and doesn't make you feel weird. So you could speak the label out loud, just like I did for the example. And then lastly, the granularity of calling attention to if it's here in or if it's just inner activation. Something to play with too. I'll let you continue on your own. So, as promised, we'll start, or I'll offer the chance to shift to do nothing a little bit early. So, you can continue with feel in if you want, but this is your invitation to put that technique with care off to the side and move to do nothing. And I'm going to offer the Joseph Goldstein version of the instruction, which is to sit and know that you're sitting. Your opportunity to shift into do nothing. I'll invite the bell to signal the end of our sit. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here and making time for yourself. Thanks for the folks who are watching the recording. I want to offer a dedication of merit. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. And at some point, I'm going to try to figure out a toast to absent community members. Apparently, the Elks Club Lodge does a toast to absent members. And I always think about crafting my own little ritual of thinking of all the people that we enjoy being here that aren't here at the moment. So shout out to all of them. Thank you so much, Ruth. You are super, super welcome. And this is that point where I have to pretend to be a YouTuber. If you like the sit and you haven't had a chance to like the video yet, please do that. You're super welcome, Moira and Gabrielle. Always amazing to have you here. Awesome, Bilby. I'm glad that you were able to be here. And thank you, Ronnie, for... I don't know my Norwegian pronunciations, but I think that's Heia Norge. But yeah, we had a few Norwegian friends that would come visit us when I was a kid. They were from... where were they from? Of course, I forget now, but Ingeborg was the gal that I met when I was a kid. So, to absent friends, those we miss, those we've yet to meet, and those who remain forever in our hearts. Excellent, Ruth. That maybe... Let me take a screenshot of that. Well, grab that. Yeah, the reason I know about the Elks Lodge Toast to Absent Members is that's a lyric in one of my favorite Canadian bands, the Weaker Thens. They have an album called Reconstruction Site, and that's a song on there, and I was just listening to that recently. Okay, so we're at 40 minutes past. Thank you for everybody. I understand if you have to hop and go learn Spanish or whatever you might be doing with your Wednesday night. And then hello and fantastic Thursday to folks in Australia. So I haven't, I didn't include because I forgot, I forgot that I had talked about this and I didn't include it. I was rushed to send out our reminders. Is pain feel out? Yes. But Bob, you will find that pain becomes... So question is, curious, is pain feel out? Yes. This is my answer, but I'm 99% sure about this. So the sensations of pain, the sheer just like hurting, like I put my hand in cold water. The interesting part is there will be like herein often, so mental talk that'll come up. And then that mental talk will sometimes generate feel in. So the mental talk will generate emotional body sensations. And so the three of those things will often twist together. And it isn't until you get, it isn't obvious until you've practiced it with the sensory clarity skill that you can see them kind of come back and forth. Good point. Except for heartache. Heartache would be, well, interestingly though, Paul, that's probably both, right? That would be an emotional sensation and a body sensation together, because I think of heartache as having a feel out component. This is an excellent question, by the way. I love that you asked this. But yeah, so that would be my, without going too far on, I love to just like go on and on and on. I am like the verbal version of a run-on sentence. But I think of pain as being feel out, but it is feel out that can be linked to or contribute to herein and feel in. and then we'll twist together. The analogy that Shinzen will often talk about is the pink thread. That at a distance it looks like pink thread, but you realize as you get closer that it's actually red and white thread twisted together. And that's the analogy that I think of when you ask that question. So thank you for that. So I didn't include the gratitude thing that I talked about doing, a gratitude, like a structured gratitude practice on Zoom, where we would meditate for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, break out into breakout groups. In the breakout rooms, we would do exercise, a gratitude exercise, and then we'd come back together maybe to sort of share, what was your experience maybe. Anyway, I haven't forgotten about that. It's just that I am juggling things, and so. But the gratitude practice is the thing that I think would be really interesting to do, especially in a structured mindfulness sort of thing. So I haven't forgotten that. The other is many of you will know, I was trained in the Buddhist meditation teacher training program for the Open Heart Project. And I don't often guide Shamatha Vipassana when we do this on Wednesday. And so I've been playing around with doing a morning sit that's like real short, or less me rambling at the beginning and more like, hi everybody, welcome, and then doing a meditation. And that would be more insight focused. That's more the Tibetan or the Vajrayana practice. So that's something I'm playing around with mornings, trying to find a morning for that. So right now it might be Sunday morning is my like thought, but I'm not 100%. And what time? So the time zone I was thinking would probably be probably like six my time, which would be like 9 everybody else's time. And apparently there's a chance that daylight savings time will be forever. I believe the United States House has passed a measure that will make the daylight savings time permanent. It has to make it through the Senate, but yeah, so like probably what I would do is maybe 6:15, because that gives me 15 minutes to not be late. But I'm playing around with that, and it may be sort of sporadic to begin. And then Paul mentioned that Ralph I was trading text messages with Ralph, and Ralph's really enjoying doing his do nothing sits on Thursday. So that will continue. I am going to have to talk to him about how to share his link, a little bit better and farther. Anyway, and more appropriately share that. So Ralph's, I think it's the same link because it hasn't changed on Instagram. But for some reason, if you haven't gotten that link so far and you're interested, send me an email and I will. Maybe I'll just email this out again. Yes, thank you very much, Paul. It is 6 Eastern right now, so that would be 3 Arizona time or 3 Pacific time. Does it? It doesn't. It doesn't conflict with Brooke though, right? It's before Brooke. So Brooke is. So my understanding is Ralph is going. Is Ralph going 45 minutes? I think Ralph's going 45 minutes, and that would mean that Brooke is after. Now that's a lot. I love that this is a community that probably would do this, but you could go to Ralph's sit and then go to Brooke's sit after. Time math is difficult. And then Brooke meditates. BrookeMeditates.com is where you'll find info for Brooke. So I'm reasonably certain that unless Ralph's went long once or twice, I think there's a so that's right. Thank you, Bob. Brooke starts at the half hour. And I thought for some reason it was 7:30. Yeah, so I have it right now as 4:30 my time, so that would be 7:30 Eastern. But yeah, so being able to do both would be brilliant because they're both fantastic meditation teachers. So, okay, that's all of that. And then the last thing I was going to do, the reason Brooke was on my mind, is that Brooke is your Do Nothing project guide for Sunday. So Jeff is, thank you, 7:30 Eastern. Thank you. So Brooke will be guiding the Do Nothing Project on this Sunday. And then a month from now, I will be your Do Nothing Project guide. So I will have to figure out something. And yeah, so that's everything. All right. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you, Saban. Thanks for sticking around, especially everybody that stuck around here at the end. So yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.